So hello and welcome to today's video, and today I'm going to be talking about a hypothetical remaster of Buddy if that was to get a definitive edition, and what I absolutely do not want to see, what needs to be improved. And I know the GTA trilogy hasn't had the best reception, so for this video I'm going to be remaining neutral again, and I'm not going to sit here and slag it off for 30 minutes straight. Anyway, to me, when it comes to remastering a game, I think one of the most important aspects comes down to the atmosphere and the graphics. Now of course the thing with Buddy is, it has a different atmosphere depending on the platform you play. But the PS2 version of Buddy had the perfect atmosphere in my opinion. The world's colour was very dull and very boring, but I felt it fit the tone of Buddy and where it was set really well. It showed we were really far away from the worlds of Vice City and Liberty City and Las Venturas, etc. We were just in a generic small town, and I always felt Buddy's PS2 atmosphere to be perfect for that. Even the seasons popped extremely well too, and in my opinion, I do not want them to follow Anniversary Edition's colour scheme because, well, colour scheme atmosphere, and I say that because Anniversary Edition is just way too bright, it's way too colourful, and I think it really took away what made Buddy unique on the PS2. I really do not want them to follow this, like stick to the PS2 vibe if you can. And I know I might be in the minority here, but I really did think they did a fantastic job of remastering the worlds of Liberty City and Vice City. To me they're very pleasing to look at. San Andreas, they did a great job on vegetation too, but the difference between Buddy and GTA is, as mentioned, Buddy's atmosphere changed between the original, Scholarship and Anniversary. If a third Buddy remaster was to happen, they would have to choose which one of these to base it off. And one thing I would like them to really fix is to fix the two biggest inconsistencies in the map, namely the school exterior and the basement. It's one of those things that when you do notice them, they become complete eyesores afterwards. Speaking of that, if a Buddy remaster happens, I would be genuinely concerned for the character models. Buddy did a great job giving its characters a fantastic balance of realism, but slight exaggeration. And I'd be concerned if they did to Buddy what they did with the GTA trilogy and make most of the characters look like they're from The Sims, Fortnite and Apex Legends. Because even some character details in the GTA trilogy got completely bastardised. Like characters who had wrinkles, for example, they look like somebody drew on the face with a marker pen in the remaster. And I really do not want to see this in Buddy. Like, some characters do have very distinctive marks, like for example Gary Smith has a cut on his eyebrow, Tom has a black eye, some characters have acne, and Jimmy has a slightly red nose. I feel if they did do the cartoony approach, Tom would look like he's wearing mascara, the acne students look like tomato sauce droplets somewhere got on their forehead, and Jimmy would look like he got decked in the nose. Plus of course my original complaints of, the clashing designs between the whole cartoony look of the characters and the realistic backgrounds, I really don't think it'd fit if they adapt the same kind of vibe for a Buddy Definitive Edition. Now when it comes to the game engine, I would imagine it would just be ported to Unreal like the GTA trilogy was. And I say this because Buddy on PS2 ran on the exact same renderware engine the original GTAs did. And for Scholarship Edition it was ported to GameBro. And to be honest, assuming that they used the original PS2 version of Buddy to work with, I would actually welcome that, to be honest. I really think it could open the doors for Buddy modding to properly get off the floor. Like, the entire file structure appeared to be the exact same as the original PS2 and PC versions, and some mods that work on San Andreas Original also apparently work on San Andreas Definitive. And given how well documented GTA renderware modding is, coupled with Buddy being built up from GTA Vice City anyway, I really think it could get Buddy modding properly off the floor, and we could start to see some quality mods finally being made. Control wise, I don't think anything needs to be changed in that department. Buddy's controls are actually pretty tight and consistent for what it's worth, except for the keyboard controls on PC. They are absolutely fucking horrible, and I'd unironically prefer it if they changed Buddy's keyboard controls to be more like that of the GTA trilogy. But for controller, nothing needs to be changed there, do not touch them, they're absolutely fine the way they are. And speaking of stuff not being changed, when it comes to the soundtrack I have absolutely no concerns about the soundtrack being changed either. And this comes down to another major difference between Buddy and GTA as a whole, and that is Buddy's soundtrack is primarily made in studio specifically for the game. GTA's music is mostly licensed and subject to whatever contracts Rockstar or Take-Two have to sign. So we should have absolutely no worries about some tracks being removed. And I know somebody's going to say, like, but doesn't Sean Lee own the copyrights? I think Take-Two do actually keep the copyrights because they did hire Sean Lee specifically to compose for the game. It's not like, licensing Sean Lee's personal works. Although I do wonder how they tackle some track differences, like the original photography class music for example. I do hope they'd fix some of the abysmal sound glitches. The ones I'm talking about, the ultra low quality candidate theme, thanks for a great date Jimmy, and stuff like that. If they don't even bother fixing that, it's the absolute sign of peak laziness. All in all, to be honest, the thought of a Buddy Definitive Edition is one of worry. Because lately it seems like Rockstar are just churning out any old shit remasters to detract us from the fact they haven't made anything new since 2018. And even then, the complete lack of communication from Rockstar, and the lack of any previews before the GTA trilogy even came out, says to me that a remaster of Bully should not be met with any hype at all. Like, if you do want to have a Bully Definitive Edition, that's fine, but keep your hopes low, because I genuinely do think that's one of the reasons why people were let down so much by the GTA trilogy. I think people were expecting it to be like, say, GTA 3 on the Red Dead Redemption 2 engine, which it wasn't. And if Bully was to follow suit, I think people would immediately assume, well, probably not so much now, but if Bully Definitive Edition was announced before the GTA trilogy was, I think people would have assumed the same then, like, you know, it'd be on the Red Dead 2 engine. Another reason why I personally wouldn't be too excited for it is because it means Bully would have been remastered 3 times, which means 4 different releases, you know, PS2, Scholarship, Anniversary, and Definitive. At that point, you know, I'm just fed up of it, to be honest. I'd rather they just make Bully 2, and I'm pretty sure we all would, but I can see why some people would like a Bully Definitive Edition, but I just wouldn't, to be honest. But that's it for today's video. Do you want to see a remaster of Bully? Let me know down below. But thank you for watching today's video, and have a great day.